Good evening, Slap family. Anthony Bateman Sr. here, coming to you tonight. And I'm going to race my car that John gave me. Hopefully, I'll have it on the track where it won't mess up the guide. I called my niece up tonight, and I asked her, would she please have her husband come up here and finish the job? And Christy, I think that's going to happen. Tomorrow, I hope, so Spider-Man will come up here and fix my track so it won't separate. And if anybody has any ideas, I feel like drilling holes in my track and shooting some screws in there. I don't know if it will do anything. If I can countersink little screws so the shit ain't gonna come apart. I mean, it's my track. I don't care if it has holes, as long as the track don't crack. I gotta find a shitty piece of track, from the old set, if I have one, and drill a little pile hole and see what happens. But I'm dying to try this car out. And then on my last video, I was naming off guys who I talk to the most. John D, he's the number one guy. I love him a lot. I love you, John. You're a really good friend, man. And then I would have to say Tommy Rays. And then it'd have to be Tony Droney from Great Britain, not Great Britain, what am I talking about? From Australia. And then I'd have to be Jim from Jim's Slot Car Obsessions. Who else? Rob Rodriguez. Ryan from PNW. Blue Oval. Joe, he made me really laugh tonight. What he was talking about, about me lifting it. That engine, he said something about world's strongest men, and he said some other crazy stuff. You're still making me laugh, Joe. But you guys make me feel good. And who writes to me the most, I'd have to say, is John D. I have to talk to you, John D, so you can help me pronounce your name, because I don't want to botch it, Daver, I think. I'm not a good speller, so. But I love you, man. I appreciate you so much. I love all you guys. And the name I was trying to think of and I couldn't, who gave me a nice car, was Ted Barker from Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota. What's M-E? Or is it Maine? M-E? No, M-I, Minnesota, I believe. So, but I bagged that job tonight. I didn't burn like I said I was going to. I opened my door for my man cave, and it was really windy out there, and it's like a damp cold. And my skin likes the cold, not the dampness, but my bones don't. My shit is tore up tonight, man. It's this hip, and it makes my knee swell. And the thing is, the cortisone shot is already gone. And it was really nice. It wasn't completely, pain wasn't completely gone, but it was gone enough where I could at least walk a little bit. without being in pain like that. But without these shoes, I can't walk good at all. You know, no way. You know, when I was firefighting, especially, I hated forest fires. I hated those things because you're walking up and down ravines and shit, which I could still. My feet wasn't that bad still. And then little by little, it kept getting worse. And then now, there's no way, you know. But my ankles do this without these shoes. So, but you know, if you guys seen how fast I could run, it would blow your mind. Because when I first got in the fire department, I was only I was 256, somewhere around there, and we played softball. And when them guys seen how fast I was, especially those old timers, and even when I got up and I was like 325, I could still haul ass, like run really fast, and then little by little, you know, couldn't run anymore. Not like that. You know, like the last time I played softball, I could run, but it probably looked really cheesy, you know. But I had fun anyways. We always used to play the cops or football, you know, flag football. But you know what, I wouldn't have thought about that until I was telling you guys, you know. When I talk to you guys, I think of things that I wouldn't, that it's like put aside, you know. It was real hard for me tonight after my video, thanking John and, you know, loving that car, and I started really thinking about my wife really bad. And John, your wife is gorgeous. You're a good looking man too. You guys are a nice looking couple, you know. And I cherish that picture. Actually, it's got to be the end of the month. I want to go to Walmart and scan it, and I'm going to make a big picture of it and put it next to my wife's picture. And then I'm also going to make a nice picture of my son, and then my two girls, and then my little, and then all my grandkids. I got a picture, and then I have a picture of their noni. That is my wife Anne Marie, as grandmother and Italian, and then my first wife Sandy. She's Baba, which is babci's in Polish, but they call her Baba. And I have to do that. And then the picture of my Aunt Doll. My Aunt Doll was like my fairy godmother. She's always been there for me. And since a baby, you know. And then my godparents, the Parkins, Art and Rose. And of course my grandmother. I have already had my grandmother on my dad's side, but I don't have a nice picture of my mother's mother. When I last seen my picture of her, I can't look at that picture because she died of cancer, and it didn't look like my grandmother. So I want a picture of her when I think she moved back when I was like 8 years old. She moved back to the South. I was so angry with her. She left us, you know. And you can never understand until you get older, you know. But yeah, I'm hoping someday I get to meet you and your wife, John. I want to meet Rob Rodriguez. I want to meet Jim. from Slack Car Obsessions. I love to meet Tony Droney. He talks to me a lot too, you know. Tone does. And then Tommy Ray, you know, he lives in Florida. And I'm sure there's others I just can't think right now. But anyways, without further ado, this track makes me mad because it's where it separate, you know, it's the cars hit it so hard it took the guy pin out. So, but hopefully I'm in there going to be in I think the 4th lane. So hopefully it'll do good at that lane. I think it's that lane. So, yeah. So I was vegging out a lot thinking of my wife, you know. Thinking of how wonderful she was to me. She's my best friend ever, you know, since planet, you know. And I know it was going to happen, but my mind was out there. I asked God, when I fall asleep, would he please take a rib out of me and make my wife come back? You know, but he's not going to do that, you know. But I got to try to keep happy thoughts in my head. I don't want to let myself get screwed up, you know. That pain I don't want anybody to ever feel that pain. Your heart aches. Our heart, if I keep it up, it feels like it's going to explode. So, but I love that picture of you and your wife, John. That made me happy. That made me happy. You sent me that nice present, made me happy. And Blue Oval made me laugh. Joe, he made me happy too. So, but I love talking to you guys. I was hoping to have a fire tonight, but I definitely got to get it going because boy, I don't mean to be bitching you guys, but my shins, my knee, and my feet. Like I cut these big old Fred Flintstone feet toenails, right? And I can't feel. And I got the good kind of toenail clippers what podiatrists use. And I clipped a chunk out of my big toe. So my son he got me some more peroxide because the peroxide a bubble and it kind of helps. Then my son brought me a chair, and I know better, you know, because of my job to keep it. If I kept it higher in my heart, it really wouldn't have been bleeding, but I had it down, man, and it was like, it wouldn't stop. Plus the blood thinners and shit. So once I got it under control, I had my son, I have a big piece of, it's a square Band-Aid. My wife bought them, and I had them left over. So I think she picked those up for me when I got bit by a spider one time. That was a story in itself, really. That took like 8 months to heal. I didn't have no open sores or nothing like that, but the part was hard. It was kind of raised and it burned, you know. So I'm pretty sure it was a brown recluse, but let me get I've been stalling walking just that little distance because that's how bad this shit hurts. You know, I bought my coat. This is a coat my wife bought me. She went overboard, and I didn't ever wanted her to do it, but she would tell me she loves me, and she goes, I'm gonna buy it. She actually bought me 2 coats. And one of them, it got ripped in the material. You really can't sew it, but I won't get rid of it, you know. I won't. So, I want to try this car so bad. I just got to walk my big ass over there. And then I had to go get that name upstairs. So, and then I had to take my medicine. And then I put myself in a Marie Callender's, turkey pot pie because I need supper yet. And it's probably like, I'm guessing, maybe 10:30, maybe going on 11:15, you know. But let me get my big carcass over here. That's like I gotta go with my head 1, 2, 3 to stand up. And these chairs Anne-Marie and I bought, they're taller. It's not a bar stool height, but it's my legs are where my thighs are, they're straight. They're not down. They're not like this. You know, so when I have something taller, it's easier for me to stand. So let me drag this piece of shit stand over. Well, you know, I had other shit on my mind too. I've been praying for the people that work at that military site that make bombs and different explosives and stuff like that, and the damn thing blew up. And I've been thinking about the families and praying for them as I sit and think of my own shit. But those people are on my mind big time. You know, I really praying for them. Okay. Whoop. See, this goes. It's going to fall over again. This damn thing. This stand sucks. Let's see. Okay. That's got to be the wrong. Let's see. Here it is. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that is smooth, John. Let me see if I can get it. So. Nice. Oh, did you hear that click? See this damn junky ass track? Son of a bitch. You know, just when I built this track, I gotta make sure. You know, the guy I bought this stuff off of, you think he would have fixed it so it wouldn't be like this? It's like, come on. Paid all that money for this stuff. It's like, you know what, if he says, well, it's going to cost you extra, blah, 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 I just would have paid it. I wouldn't have bitched about it. I just would have did it. So I got to try to, let's see. Shit. Son of a bitch. Let's see if that'll work. Yes. So I'm gonna have to move it down. Son of a bitch. This junky ass stand fell again. Sorry, guys. This piece of shit Walmart junk. I should have brought it back. Hold on. Anyways, whoa, John, this car's wicked smooth, but my track Oh, wow. That is sweet. I'm only going to run it once, John, because I'm the guy to definitely get ruined. So tomorrow, I'm going to be running it and filming it a lot. And, but it's nice and smooth. Thank you so much. That's what I mean. I haven't been able to run cars down here for, I'm going to say, a month maybe, or close to it, because the last time I had my brother's kids here, you know, and I even wanted to run some cars and I couldn't let them because the track has come apart. And when I built this track, it was off like, I would say, 1/8 of an inch. And so you gotta like force it together. So like if you force one part, it'll come apart in another part. But I learned from Ryan from P&W. He told me to take those red clips right here, and we bent them. So then it didn't come apart. But Spider-Man, he did the circle, but he didn't get underneath the track. So now it's not his fault. It's just one of those things. So hopefully I'll get my niece to get his butt up here and get it fixed for me, and then I can run this lovely car. I want to show it again. Sweet, sweet John. And then there's a guy inside of there too. That's like unbelievable. Cool. That's really, honestly, this is my favorite car. This is my favorite car. And that stands out from anything I have. You know? Anything. So, oh, my back. So tomorrow, like I said, hopefully Spider-Man will come up here, who's Jordan, and to fix this damn thing. And then I'll have him, while he's here, put some of the guardrails on. And then that material I bought, like what Marty Ford has, I bought those. I'll put that in back of the Carrera. See, my back, in the center of my back, is killing me too. It's just getting old for me. It's wasted. But I'm gonna watch tonight. If you guys like lumberjack stuff, that's one of my favorite things to watch now. I wanted to be a lumberjack when I was a little kid, all the way up till a young adult. I wanted to be a firefighter, state trooper. My cousin Freddie was a state trooper for years here. Then my other cousin, he became a state trooper, Brandon, but he ended up getting hurt. So then he had to have, I think, his knees replaced or some shit. So he couldn't do it. I think he does something else. I don't know if it's criminal type stuff, but he'll always have a good job because he's smart. But then I wanted to be a soldier because that runs in my family. When I got mad at my ex-wife, she was my wife then, but I enlisted. I didn't enlist, but I was going to go in the Marine Corps. So then before that, I was going to go in the buddy system with my friend Joe Pagliar. Well, he's a cabinet maker by trade. He's passed away now. I think Joe's been gone for like, man, I'll say 7 years maybe. And then a lumberjack. I've always liked that. I love chopping and splitting wood, but I can't now the way this body is. And I love operating chainsaws, but this guy I watch, his name is Buckin' Billy. You spell Buck, and then you put I-N in back of that, and then Billy. Billy's his name. And, I enjoy watching that man. He goes up the tree with those spurs. My dad was actually good at doing that. Oops, when we went hunting, when I was real little, I would be on the ground and he would use his spurs and go up the tree. Because he put his stand up there, but he made it so in order for somebody else to use it, they got to have those spurs. And he used to shoot, shoot, shoot up there. And then, yeah, so I'm going to watch that tonight when I go to bed. And I just let it play, and I fall asleep, but my sleep's going to be, excuse me, guys, my Ingaros. My sleep's going to be messed up because I got to take them. I call them piss pills. It's tercimide. Without tercimide, I would be screwed because I'd swell up with fluid and my heart won't be able to pump. Like, I did something really dumb yesterday. I had a whole jar of olives. I love olives, especially the green ones, or the Italian ones with hot pepper seeds on them, or prosciutto, or mozzarella cheese. But I love plain ones too. Probably plain ones are my favorite. And I ate a whole jar, and I drank the juice. And right away, my face puffs up. I'm like Professor Klump. You'll notice when I'm clean, my face will shrink right down. I won't have these jaws like I used to tell my wife used to laugh because I said, remember I used to watch that show when I was little. I was watching because my father watched it. Growing up, I watch, still do. It's Tennessee Tuxedo, and it's the walrus, Chumley. Because I used to tell her, I said, look how puffy my face is. If I took 2 tusks, put them there, I would look like fucking Chumley. And she started cracking up. So, but anyways, and then last night too, I made grilled cheese sandwiches when there's nothing around. I kind of like that because it's something that tastes when I was a little kid. My taste buds are still the same. So I had that, and I had a family can of tomato soup. I love tomato soup. And all that salt, it's really not good, man. So I really went off the wagon like that. And then I what else did I eat? Oh, and then the other day I had those shitty corn dogs. And then today didn't help, and then because I had £1.5 pounds of bacon. Well, just 3 pieces of toast, and I had 6 they're the littler ones of farm eggs. So, and then, but when I drank that apple juice, I was beat. If I have apple cider, if I drink that shit like the way I drink it, I have to be home. Like, when I know my stomach's gonna blow that shit out, I'm gonna, guys are probably saying, yeah, he's gross, but part of life, I just stay close to the toilet. So I have to cool with it. I love cider. But I think I would have been all right if I didn't eat all that grease, bacon and shit. So, but You know what? I want to race this car so bad, and I don't want to mess the guide up. That is sweet. What a beautiful car. You know, I seen a real one like this, except it was purple. Just like this same kind of car, chrome mags, wheels just like this. It was purple, but it had orange flames. That looked awesome too. That was a while ago I seen that car. But oh, I gotta show you this now. My sled engine, it's not seized no more. Greenleaf told me today, because I said, Green, I said, that sled, man, I said, that engine's got to have a full rebuild. He goes, no, it don't. He goes, I'm telling you. It ran. Because I said to him, why'd you part it out? I said, you parted it out, you know. So I was thinking maybe the engine blew, not blown, but whatever. But he swore to me, he said no. So I didn't argue with him or nothing. I wouldn't anyways, you know. I'm not an arguing type of guy. I just won't. I'll say, see you later, alligator. That's the end of that. Or I'll wait till it. I don't hold grudges. I'll wait till it blows over, you know. But if somebody's being a dick, I'm all done. But Green was right. I'll show you when I get my big butt up again. It's not seized, so I'm just going to replace all the electrical part and the carburetor and everything that goes with the throttle cables to the carburetor. I'm not going to, that's got to be new. I can't fool around with that. And then, where if the paint came off, I want to make it look nice. So, but I figured I'm going to run this thing rich when it gets up and running, and then I'm going to lean it out, you know. But I think to protect everything, and then I can always take the plugs out and clean them, you know, after, because of being rich, you know, it kind of screws the plugs up a little bit. So, and this engine down here, that's it's really set to go. I just have to get the cables for the battery, throttle cable. I'm going to change the oil filter and the oil while it's off, and then I have to find a clutch. Hopefully I can get a clutch for that tapered shaft, you know. And that's it. The tires, there's some flat tires, so I'll keep the rims and I'll just replace the, you know. I want to run this car so bad, man. Whoops. And I want to run it, you know. But I'm not going to ruin it. No way. Well, so tomorrow, Greenleaf, hopefully. I kind of messed them up a little bit, didn't mean to. I went over to my friend's house, Bob, with him and his wife, and he said I could use that pontoon boat anytime I want. That's like huge. And so I was supposed to show up in Windsor again because Green, he wanted to take some, he wanted to take some, scrap metal to the scrap yard again. So, and then he told me, because it's a ways to get to his house, he said he'd give me some gas and I'd take him up on that. And then he said to give me lunch. You don't have to worry about that. The gas part, that'd be good, but he's broke too, you know. So, But anyways, once I can get my ass up, and I'm gonna show you that this shit is unseized now, which that's huge. So I'm still gonna keep spraying it, putting oil in it. You know, I didn't have to use no, I forgot what you call that shit. It's for rust. What the heck? I know it like I know my own name. My father used to use this shit. I don't even know if they make it anymore. It's called Kroll. I hated the smell of that stuff. There's those things too, but not like that Kroll. Wow, I can't believe I can't remember that. But see, I'm like fading now, but I want to eat that pot pie. I got a what do you call it? A Marie Callender's, the home size one, you know. I'm gonna tear that shit up. And then, then tonight, before I go to bed, even though I ain't got the shits, but I'm not taking a chance, I'm gonna pop Imodium AD, you know. So I ain't gotta worry about that shit. Oh, excuse me, guys, gals. Nobody wants to see anybody falling asleep. My fists are going bullshit because the lights are usually off. If I stay down here, I'll leave the lights on like when there's daylight bleeding in, and it kind of, you know, don't mess him up as much, I don't think. I don't want him to get stressed out because you get this shit called ick. It's like they get these parasites on them, and that's not good. When I first started saltwater fish, I had that happen. Anne-Marie, for my birthday, she bought me this. It was beautiful. It's the biggest yellow thing I ever seen. But she got it at Petco, and they're notorious for fish having ick. So, and it's a new fish too. Say if it had a few, when they get stressed out, they get that shit even more. So it smoked my whole fish tank. We didn't know, you know, first time ever having saltwater fish. And plus, it was my own fault kind of too because she goes, Tone, ain't that beautiful? So we loaded up the tank with it was like a, 55-gallon tank from Walmart at the time. And these freaking things, they died. I lost all those fish. And then the second time, we had our fish for a while, but the floor joist that's up right up there, I don't know if you could see that, I think it was a 2x8 right there. It's like sandwiched. Well, that freaking thing let go. So I called my brother Rodney up, and he had jacks from his old house. So we jacked this shit up and then left the jacks up, and then like Freddie Lou Stone, my brother Rodney helped because he just came home from the hospital not too long ago, and they helped me put the new lolly columns up before the guys poured the floor. And then Lou Stone and my brother sandwiched that piece of wood. But I wish I should have by right threw 2 more jacks in and jacked it up because it's still down like, wow. On this side, 3/4 of an inch, you know. And then my friend Chanowski, when he was drinking and shit, he's a good electrician when he's not drinking, but when he's drinking, he does stupid shit. So he was drawing holes. Instead of drilling them sideways, he drilled them 1, 2, 3. I go, stop. I go, what are you doing? Is why don't you just keep going and cut the fucking wood in half? So it made it weak there. But the way it split in the first place too. I had this really good carpentry teacher, this Irishman. I love him. Think about him all the time. And I hope you don't think I'm racial when I say it, but that blood's in me too. It's actually Scottish. Because my grandmother's father, shit, this damn thing. My grandmother's father was a slave, and the slave master was his father. So, but anyways, where was I going with that? I don't know. I get tired of such random talk, switch fucking gears. I was talking about, I don't know why I said that. Oh, but Shanowski, he was drunk all the time. But he wasn't drunk working on the thing, but I think he'd get pickled after a while. I don't know why I brought that shit up about my... I know why, because I was talking about my teacher, Don Murphy, because I said he was an Irishman. That's why I said what I said. Well, anyways, I love Don Murphy. Learned a lot about him. But he always told us guys, when we're putting up floor joists, pick floor joists with no knots in it. So when I look at this house right here, I'm not going to swear, I'll say blank. Floor joists, loaded with knots. Then there's some that are clear, but there's some, and that's where a house is going to fail. It's just, but at the time, this Sandy and I, it was Best Buy at the time because there was hardly any houses for sale, This is supposed to be a starter house because I wanted to own land. I wanted to have a Christmas tree farm. Oops. Wanted a Christmas tree farm, plus I want to shoot my fireworks and shit off, and I love shooting guns and shit. Archery. I haven't shot archery now in a long time. And you know what? I don't even know if I could pull my bow back, really. I have my bow since I was, my father bought it for my birthday when I was 16 years old. But, so, anyways. I gotta talk about a subject. I shouldn't bring up politics, but I can't help it. Everybody getting laid off, it bothers me. I've been laid off before several times. I know when I worked in the paper mill, they shut down. That was gonzo. I was having to be fortunate to get a job before it shut down, but all these people, all the people at the Pentagon, all the people that help run this country, you know who's getting rid of their jobs, and it's pissing me off. That man, that president's gone bankruptcy and shit. I had lots of bills and shit. I went and got more work and I paid my shit off. Kept chiseling at it. If I can get because of firefighting guys, a lot of guys, there was plumbers there's electricians, there's sheetrockers, there's framers, there's roofers. And that's what I did. I got some jobs painting, one job doing a roof. My best friend, Jerry Higgins, he's gone now, but he would hire me. He paid me the most, And that's how I paid down my shit. Going from one job to the next job. I even had to wipe asses before the place where I worked. But I couldn't work there long because it was really sad, There's people that are, I don't know how to say it. I don't know the right word because I don't want to say what they used to say a long time ago. But we'll say people that just weren't born normal. And when I first started a job, the woman, she had seizures, and they'd have to take it looked like a ring, like a magnet thing, and they would go around her. I think it was in her head or something, to get her to stop seizing. And what I heard happened to her, this asshole shitbag raped her when she was a baby, and she got syphilis. She was born normal, but that's what made her like that, you know. Or I take care of these. They were like little people. They were brother and sister. They're like tiny, and they were like babies, you know. But I was, when I seen that woman like that, and when they told me what happened to her, I started to tear up. I had to get out of the building and get myself straight. You know, but anyways, getting back to that ding dong, you know who I'm talking about. When he called John McCain loser and all kinds of stuff like that, that made me fucking snap. And then laying all those people off. And then where it even fucked with me with my Social Security. Because what I'm really should be getting just from all those jobs I worked, he told me I should be getting like $1,400. So I was thinking, wow. I said, I'm getting that much? He goes, yep. I go, holy shit. You know, and on top of my pension from the fire department, but he goes, wait a minute. And he told me I couldn't get it. They were giving me like I think it was like $80-something, and then it went to like $95, and then they bumped it up. Every time they bumped it up, because they said, yep, you're going to get this. And then when President Biden signed this paper or whatever, I forget what it's called, but people who work civil service, they couldn't get that pay too. So once that went to where we can get paid, then it bumped up to almost $900. And then now I'm getting 300 and change, and they're taking 583 from me. Because those lunatics. Remember, I went middle fingers to Elon Musk and all them cronies. But you know what? And then I'll get off this subject because I don't want to turn anybody off. But the president with all of his brown nosers, they remind me when I was in 7th grade to 9th grade, they had a class president stuff. And I was a vocational. So it was like rich, highfalutin, corny ass fucking people. I gotta swear on this. You know, all great, studious, class president bullshit stuff and blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing except you got adults. And they're fucking with people's pays. They're with their wives. Going to food pantries. I had to do the food pantry thing, but when I got my job working for that agency that would bring, I was a driver. I stopped. I stopped. I wasn't going to take food when I can afford it. And right now I don't need to do that. You know? But it just pissed me off, that's all. But that's the end of the talking about that bullshit stuff. It's supposed to be on Slack cars, you know, or all the other shit I do. But I pray for those people. I know what it's like to be hungry. Believe me. You know, you got to feed your family here. Or I hear him still talking about because it pissed me off. Once you get car loans and house loans, once you get behind, and then they call you up and threatening you, even though they know it's happening, but they still threaten you. So they make you feel bad, and angry all at the same time. But I pray that you guys take a moment of silence with me and pray for all those people. The people from the bomb explosion to the people who are losing their jobs because of the orange guy. And what else? Just people are just in trouble, period. So. Amen. I just got the Family Guy for background noise. But I'm going to stand my big ass up and I'll show you this engine. Hopefully this thing won't fall over because I was getting my car from being stuck. And, shit. Excuse me. That's one thing I'm investing in is a stand, so I won't be swearing anymore. Okay, there's the engine. Let me see if we can pull up more that way, maybe. Let's see. Let me lower it a little bit. There. This. Trying not to swear, folks. I know my grandkids are gonna love it, especially my oldest daughter. Nicole doesn't bother, and my son it don't, but dads don't like it. Oh, son of a bitch. This fucking, I can't help but swear. It's like, shit, whoa. See, that's another dumb thing I did. I almost lost this because I didn't, too lazy and didn't hang it on the rack. So, hopefully this shit won't fall over. But, ain't that awesome? Getting looser and looser. Looser and looser. I got this freaking can right here. I don't have the strength anymore, and there it goes. Okay, get it. Fire that shit in there. I do love WD-40. Look at that, guys. Last night, it was screwed up. So, the only thing is I'm dripping shit in my floor. Still can't think of that rust remover. I got a rag soaking this shit up. But I am so happy that this baby's turning. Because if I don't have to do a total tear down, you know, especially when the thing that's been owned by one owner besides Greenleaf. And shit, the other sled was a Ski-Doo. So that engine, shoot some of this shit. Oh shit. That's coming out a little bit too fast. So, but anyway, Slav family, I hope you enjoy this content. Sorry I brought up them ding-dongs in the government, but I couldn't help it. Because I pray for those people. You know. Then just think, that's going to be a smoke Christmas this year for a lot of people. You know, wasted. But I'm going to go upstairs and show this nice car again from my dear friend John and his wife Kim. John Daver, I think. Forgive me, John, if I'm saying your last name wrong. But that is a sweet, sweet car. That's the best one in my arsenal. That's my favorite car. And that's the truth. So, with these things right here, I think these are going to look sharp. Because it's going to be like some of the high power lines, they have this on here for a base. So instead of those pipes I bought, and I still got a bunch more, and I paid over $200. Not just those, but I got more of them. I had a vision, and I had the money, and I just did it. And but I think those pipes helped me to be able to bend that, what's that wood called? MDF board. So, but when these bigger, the taller ones are going to replace those. So when Spider-Man comes, so tomorrow, I got to finish those other ones up, paint them. I don't even care if they're a little tacky. Hopefully they won't be. And then put them all, take the pipes out, and keep replacing. I get it all, and then clean up my track from all this shit I got on the track. All this type stuff. Just it's all junked up. I don't mind the cars on there, but all that other shit. Then my daughter, Nicole, and my son-in-law gave me these antique fire trucks. Those are going on the layout. And I wanted to build a fire department out of foam board. I didn't get to it yet. So I got so much, this thing's pissed me off. I have so much shit. So much shit at once, I'm all over the place. So I got to get one of those, I forgot what those garages are called. It's like a portable garage. It looks like I forget what you call them, but the roof goes like this. And they have heavy duty ones, and I seen them at Amazon. So I think it's, well, there was one for 20 foot long, and I think it was 12 foot wide, something like that. I definitely want it 12 foot wide, but maybe if, even 16 foot, really, just because I want to be able to put those 3 6-wheelers in there, plus I'm hoping to get 2 used sleds from the marketplace. Because if it's going to snow this year, what I like to do is when it's like a ton of snow, I do I don't go on the main highways, but I do street riding through the neighborhoods, you know. Police don't bother you. So that's what shit, that looks it's a little crooked, but not bad. Shit. That's what TB's gonna do. Gonna do some street riding. You know, I hope. So, Slot family, I think I'm gonna shut this down and wait for my pot pie to get done. I got over an hour. A lot of guys, they don't like to watch long videos, and I went and shot some politics shit in there because I was mad at what's going on. Like people losing their jobs. And Christmas, you got all the holidays coming. And so if you help me pray for everybody, I'd appreciate it because, you know, can't even imagine. Like I said, I already went through that kind of stuff. But I was able to, thank God, get a job. And I was able to have a job working the fire department, especially when we went on 24-hour shifts. You know, I worked 24 hours on, then get a day off, work 24 hours on, and then get 5 days off. Where the old schedule was 2 10-hour shifts, you get a day off, then you go 2 14-hour shifts, and then you get 3 days off. But when they went to the 5 days off, I was for that. At first, I didn't want to change, and then one of the old guys was talking to me, and I go, you know what? He goes, look, you could really work another job. You already are, but it was awesome. That schedule that's the best. But anyways, I want to keep talking, but I don't want to be rambling. To come out like I'm rambling, you know. But I wish there was medicine that would take the pain away. You know, I won't take narcotics. You know, I have a friend who works in a nursing home. She thinks I should, but I don't know when I actually fall asleep. Because I don't feel it until it's like, when it gets too crazy, I get so exhausted, I do fall asleep. So, but I hope maybe I see my little buddy tomorrow, Ivan. I wish I could see all my grandkids, but the other ones they're in Virginia, you know. And Mark's daughter from his first, not he didn't marry her, but she's still in the family. She's still my granddaughter. Well, I ain't seen her for a long time. He hasn't seen her for a long time because they moved far away. They moved to Texas. You know, it's wasted. And then that's where my family's going to be going. So that's a long ways, man. Long ways. But yeah, this room before you know it, it's going to be snowing. So all this MDF board down there where my helmets, I got to get my helmets hanging on the wall somewheres. With some of my memorabilia, however you say that name. And then like one of my helmets that's been in some serious structure fires, an asshole plumber stole it, you know. He has to go back down the cellar to measure something, and then he went out the back door. And I should have walked down, because I remember my dad said, don't let them guys stay down alone. So I got 4 helmets anyway, so the last one don't really have no I wasn't in no structure fires at that one. I was at structure fires, but just a pump operator. But the other ones, I was in some heavy fire. And that nicer helmet, well, seasoned from structure fires, he's got it. Piece of shit. So, but I gotta move all that shit underneath my layout. I had some dollies from Harbor Freights. And then, so I could put my planer. I'm gonna have to turn the other way. That toolbox, I think I'm going to get a big one. It's on wheels, so it'd be, I don't know. I wish I had a ranch style home. Like you ever see, and then I'm gonna shut this down. You ever see like a ranch style home? I got too much of my body showing. A ranch style home that has a section with a second floor in it. Because for some reason I still like my bed upstairs, except I got one of those elevator things. And then, but everything else made so when I get older, just in case, it's handicap, I say accessibility. And then if I had a ranch, I could shoot my guns downstairs like my friend Frank does. So hopefully I'll get Frank up here. He's a firefighter, brother. And hopefully I'll get him, he's a motorhead. So hopefully I'll get him to do this, you know. I'm hoping. So. But anyway, Slot family, I love you guys very much so. John D, somehow, some way, I'm going to drive to see you. And I just stay at a place and then, you know, I'm not going to invite myself at your house. It's rude. But you're always welcome here. But we could meet somewhere in race or whatever, or however you want to do it. I want to meet you. I also want to meet Rob Rodriguez. I still never met Jim. You know, it's like probably 4 hours away where he lives. And I'm definitely going to see Brian Young. I'm definitely going to do that. And then I hope he comes back here. And then I would love to meet, there goes my chicken pot pie shit. I'm going to have to go upstairs because that's going to wake my son up. So I love you, Slot family. And have a great weekend. And maybe we'll do something else tomorrow too. Peace out.